Before we start this, just a quick warning that this video will have some spoilers for Paint Treble. Like, it should be obvious, but I just wanted to mention it just in case. So yeah. Hello, today is June 4th, 2018, which is, of course, Element Temp's 11th anniversary, but it's also the day before Paint Treble's 10th anniversary on the 5th. That's right, it's finally the day that is the 10th anniversary of Paint Treble. Don't know where I was going with that one. Fortunately, I didn't get Chapter 1B done for before the anniversary, but at least wanted to do something for it. Similar to what I did for Element Temp last year. Can't believe it's already been a year since then. So last year I talked about stuff I was planning for Element Temp and how it developed. I kind of want to do that for Paint Treble too, but it might be a bit different because its development it's kind of odd in comparison to a lot of other series I've done. So the reason I'm doing this video now instead of tomorrow is because I actually want to do two of them. Today is going to be talking about the series that I planned originally that became Paint Treble, and then I want to talk about how that Paint Treble itself first started, because the way it started was a lot different than it is now. Now, even though it's a lot different, I should say in advance that it might contain some spoilers for the series, because some stuff from it I am going to use in Paint Treble. Just letting you know in advance. Also, once again, I'd like to warn you that this is not scripted, so there might be a bunch of pauses and jump cuts, like with the Element Temp one and the Indigo the Witch one. So yeah. So let's get started, shall we? Well, that was weird. Anyway, and by the way, I should mention that since this idea I made was like over 10 years ago, I might not remember it all that well, so I'm trying my best to remember it. I first thought of this idea when watching a movie. I think it was like Lord of the Rings or something. Anyways, it was about a girl named Tyr who wanted to go off to help save her village from like monsters or whatever. And like her family didn't let her because she was a girl, so she disguised herself as a boy to fight them. She went with 3 people. One of them was a boy named Barry. He was a friendly guy who liked eating a lot, but he wasn't very good at fighting, but he admired Tyr, so he decided to help out anyways. The third guy, well, he wasn't actually named, and he wasn't developed very much because he actually ends up dying very early on anyways. And the fourth one, he didn't have a planned name either, but he's pretty much where I got the idea for Ale's character from, so I'll just call him Ale from here on out. Anyways, Ale wasn't a very friendly guy, kept to himself a lot, but he was a very strong warrior, so so that's why Tyr accepted him into the group. So anyways, the 4 of them went off. So at this point, I don't really remember anything but how I had it end, and that was that Ale, the Ale in the story, actually ends up being the villain the whole time, and he was the one who also killed the third guy. And then he also reveals to everyone that Tyr was a girl the whole time, even to Barry. But despite that, they still believed in Tyr's strength, and Tyr, along with Barry, defeated Ale and brought peace to the village and in the world and stuff. And then Tyr and Barry fell in love and got married, and that's how it ended. The end. Now, if you might have noticed, a lot of that stuff is very different from how the actual Paint Treble goes. First of all, the most obvious difference is Ale is a villain in this one. He started as a villain. I know it's probably pretty shocking in that Barry was actually supposed to be Tyr's love interest, and also that Tyr was actually supposed to be her name originally, it wasn't Reyna. Although I'll talk more about Reyna in the next video. So this wasn't supposed to be like a big series. In fact, I guess the original Paint Treble originally wasn't gonna either. So that's why I didn't think of like much stuff about this one. Some series I do, I'll eventually scrap them and then use the ideas for other stuff. But that's not actually how it went for this series. I actually purposely like wanted the series, but I wanted to change the idea to something else. Actually inspired by like an anime I watched called Shugo Chara, but I wanted to make it more of like a more general, like gendered version of it. I think it's similar to what I did with Indigo the Witch, but it was with this anime specifically because I like the idea a lot. Although with this, it was like with arts, with like paint, music, and cooking, of course. So of course, like right then, I decided to have Tyr be the painter, Ale be the musician, and Barry be the cook. That was always the plan from the start. However, Rain and Ale being love interest wasn't the thing originally. Like, of course, Raina being like disguised as a boy was a thing from the original. That was like one thing that she always had. In fact, other than her being a main character, that was the only thing that was really taken from the original. Even her personality is completely different. It pretty much just gave hers to Chelsea, and actually Barry's old one got given to Mac. So if that sounds familiar now, you know why. So why did I decide to switch love interests for Reina? It actually didn't have to do with personalities. It actually was because of their arts they used. I thought it was a good idea to have the painter and the musician be together. I thought that was interesting. But I didn't want to switch like Barry to be the musician, Ale to be the cook, because I didn't think that made much sense. So I decided just to make Ale the main character and love interest instead. And to be honest, given their personalities now, I actually kind of like it better this way anyways. So sorry, Barry, that you lost your main character status because I didn't want the cook to be the love interest instead of the musician. Although originally when the series was called PTC before Paint Treble, Barry was supposed to be a third main character, but I ended up changing it to just be two. Although I will talk more about this in the next video. Although later on, I didn't just want that to be all I took from the original, so I also made it like the legend of Tyr, like a hero in the story, and that's pretty much based on the original story I had. So if you're wondering like where I got the idea from, it was from that. Although the original Tyr didn't fight with like artistic abilities, and she didn't fight alone in the original, but still, that was taken from the original series. I am thinking like if I do eventually tell a story of the legendary hero Tyr, if I will take more ideas from this, I'm not sure yet, but I'm still thinking about it. Anyways, up next will be talking about PTC, which was my first version of the actual Paint Treble, but that will be saved for the next video. I know this one isn't as long, but I just wanted to do it this way because I'd like to work more on the chapter 1B today, so I didn't want to spend too much time on this. That's why I'm doing both videos on different days this time. Anyways, I think I covered everything I wanted to do in this video, so that's it. Till next time, bye, I guess.